video, I'm going to be showing you how to paint a design onto a t-shirt using vinyl as a stencil. This is quite an easy method to use if you want to paint a design onto t-shirt and you don't have heat transfer vinyl or any other kind of transfer method like sublimation. So this is perfect. For this, you are going to need your t-shirt, of course, your vinyl design. I've already gone ahead and cut this out on my vinyl cutter, and then you are going to need some fabric paint, a sponge, and some masking tape as transfer tape. I've used masking tape because masking tape is not as hard to apply with as transfer tape is. Sometimes transfer tape can stick really well to the vinyl and not onto a surface that is not easily used with vinyl, like a t-shirt. So for this stencil, you will want to create what you call a negative stencil. So you will want to remove the pieces of vinyl that essentially you want to have the paint go through, and this is what we call a negative stencil. So you'll see I'm removing the pieces that are going to be painted. So everything that you remove will end up having the paint go through onto your fabric. So this is probably the easiest part of everything, and you'll just be taking your design that you have and then weeding out the pieces. So I've also made sure to put a box around the design so that you have a splash area around your design. Okay. After this, I fold my design in half so that I can find the middle of my design and of my shirt. You want to make sure everything is in the middle, because once you start sticking stuff down, you won't be able to get it up really without taking the whole thing apart. So before I'm transferring it onto the t-shirt, I'm just making sure that everything is in the middle. And you'll see here that I've bent back a piece of the top of the design before I apply my transfer tape, so that I can make sure that everything is lining up. So here I'm applying the masking tape, and I'm making sure to apply it to every piece that I can, so that I can get all the pieces together and keep them all in one piece. Because I didn't make any bridges like a normal stencil on this, because I wanted to make sure that I can paint it one time instead of having to go and fill in all the gaps. If you want to have a stencil with all the bridges on it, then it is a little bit more challenging later, because you have to go in with your brush to piece together all the bridges and make sure that you have to make sure that you don't have those bridges anymore. So I've put my masking tape on here, and I'm just going to carefully peel back the design off of the backing paper. And this piece is quite tricky because you don't want your vinyl to stick to your transfer tape too much, but you need it to stick just enough so that you can get the design off and onto your t-shirt without anything getting wrinkled. Of course, HTV or sublimation is an easier method to transfer a design onto a shirt, but this is specifically if you don't have that type of equipment and you only have vinyl and a vinyl cutter. So once I've transferred the design down, I'm going to carefully peel away all this tape, making sure that I actually leave the stencil onto the shirt. This part is quite tricky and needs a lot of patience, because as you can see, everything lifts and it is quite challenging to get this part to go, but that's why I've used the masking tape, so that I can peel it away in little pieces, and you basically just have to keep sticking it down, peeling away the masking tape softly so that you can keep everything sticking down, and then press it back as you go. Okay, here we are, it's done after working it away carefully. So at this point I'm going to bring out my fabric paint. I'm just pressing it down with my hands a little bit more. I'm just using a general fabric paint that you can find anywhere, and this is a sponge that comes out of a vitamin container. You can get any sponge or roller or anything. I do suggest a sponge because you can paint on the design by dabbing, as you'll see now. Just dab, 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 dab all around, and then this seals the edges of the stencil without getting the paint underneath the stencil, so you get those nice clean edges. And the point of this is that if you go with a paintbrush, you're going to get the paint slipping when you This is quite a fun, relaxing part of doing a stencil like this. I really enjoyed it, and I always enjoy hand painting something. Such a relaxing thing to do, just to go around dabbing all this paint. And I also love using paint because then it's stuck to the fabric and you don't have to worry about peeling. Sometimes your HTV can peel, even sublimation can fade, and with this the paint is onto the garment, and you've also got a nice look. And I like the hand painted feel of it. It's just so cute. Okay, so just finishing up this corner here, going all around, getting all the pieces. You can see I have applied it quite as thick as I can, but not too thick. The paint was a bit faded in the end, but you can do as many layers as you want to get it as thick as you want. And then also just make sure before you start painting, make sure you put a piece of paper, parchment paper, or some sort of barrier between the layers inside the t-shirt to stop the paint from bleeding through the garment, because it does actually go through, and if you don't put something between the layers, then you're going to end up with your painted design on the back as well. Okay, so this is what it looks like at the moment. Painted everything over. This you can leave to dry before doing a second layer, but here I missed my footage because my son decided that he needed to take the sticker off. He was just so excited to see the finished product. But yeah, this is what he did. He managed to get it this far before I went to go look for him and saw him doing this. But then I finished up the rest so that I could get the footage for you guys. So I'm just basically peeling off the pieces with my weeding tool here, making sure not to break the t-shirt. And it is quite a little bit of a challenge because it's still wet, and it is best to do it when it's wet. Yeah, so there we are, and it came out so well. Really impressed with how it came out, and it was a wonderful Father's Day gift. So this is a nice idea if you just want to do a last minute print on a t-shirt and you've run out of HTV and you have some paint lying around and stencil. It's a really sweet idea, and I love the hand painted feel of it. It's so authentic and it really turned out well. I love it. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far in the video, do subscribe so you never miss an upload. I've got plenty more craft videos and these types of videos coming along, how to use vinyl, make different things. And I'll see you in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.